A political comeback that many saw coming kicked off over the weekend. Listen.
There is one leader who has demonstrated more than anyone else that they can face crisis with calm and lead us to a healthier, happier state. Please join us in welcoming the solution to our challenges, the embodiment of New York's strength, resilience, and heart. The leader we need to build the future we deserve, our dad, Andrew Cuomo.
And there it is. What was long rumored, now officially official. 4 years after resigning as governor, Andrew Cuomo has launched his race for City Hall, and he's already ahead in some of the key demographics. Political analyst, assistant professor at the University of Mount St. Vincent, J.C. Polanco, helping us understand how Cuomo's candidacy will shape the race for City Hall. And J.C. is joining us now to talk about that. So great to see you, my friend.
So happy to see you.
Okay,
good morning.
Here we go. So we can finally say it's happening and not have to be talking in rumors and conjecture. So, you know, if you look at our most recent poll, now polling is going to be polling, right? It has him far and ahead in every single one of these polls. But among black voters, 59% support. I guess the question here is, when you look at it, how is he pulling away from Eric Adams' base? How is he going to win over female voters? What do you expect to see between now and the primary in June?
Well, you know, Andrew Cuomo clearly upends this entire race. You mentioned black support. We've known for a very long time that Andrew Cuomo has a lot of support with black and Latino voters. We also know he has a lot of support from outer borough voters. So, and he's going to take a lot of support from current Mayor Eric Adams. You know, I see this race becoming daily his to lose. The question is going to be, how does he handle New York Attorney General James's report on the sexual harassment claims? How does he handle some of his decision on COVID-19 and retirement home deaths? And I think that that's a big issue for him. Now, you know, in a primary, the campaign's going to come and people are going to ask him those questions. And I think, you know, we've moved away from a time in which the Me Too movement created an environment where the accusation was the verdict. And I think that Donald Trump has rewritten that playbook and had added several additions since. Now voters are going to want to know more information. He has never been found guilty of anything in court or liable in anything in any civil court anywhere in New York. So it gives him an opportunity to explain his position. He's going to have to. And I think that if he satisfies the concerns of some voters, I think that he's going to be able to do very well in this primary. Look, your polls, the polls across the city have demonstrated that he's leading by double digits regularly. Now, with Mayor Adams not in the poll anymore, or you know, if Mayor Adams were to drop out, I can see this race becoming clearer. Andrew Cuomo moving into June.
But I think a lot of constituents are going to say, you know, he's coming in, like you said, with his own legal baggage. So how is he going to be any different? I mean, he did grab away the endorsements from the Carpenters Union away from Adams, but how is he any different? And how is he going to convince folks that he is different?
Well, there's a big difference, you know, unfortunately, and I like Mayor Adams a great deal, but, you know, there's a big cloud over him when you're talking about criminal indictments, when you're talking about 8 attorneys in the Southern District of New York resigning because they would not go with an order to dismiss without prejudice, when 4 deputy mayors resign. It's a very big difference. Now, coming in with an independent report that said that you harassed folks. Now, he's going to have to answer that. I'm not saying at all that it's less important, but I am saying that it's not a criminal indictment. And second, he's benefiting from time away from the limelight. Mayor Adams is dealing with hurricane after hurricane daily, in the moment. Andrew Cuomo resigned many, many, many months ago. Yeah. So he has the leisure of having the benefit of having time and distance from the moment of the chaos. And then remember that he's reconnecting with voters as someone that they saw every single day during the COVID crisis. Someone that we know, someone who has gone toe-to-toe with Donald Trump where necessary, and someone that I think the Democrats are needing. They want to see a fighter, and they see someone who's competent and worth the fight with Andrew Cuomo, according to the polls.
Well, and again, polls are polls. They're a snapshot in time. A lot of them are hypothetical. And if you look at the polls from the last election, they were very similar for Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang was far and ahead in all the polls, and then he kind of fell off. So here's the question I have for you, because it was a very carefully constructed rollout this week in a 17-minute campaign video, a Carpenters event, 0 interviews with the press, where they could question him on those very issues to address some of those things that you may not get at a campaign stop when you go to the Bronx, right? So when do you see that happening?
I see it happening very quick. There's no time for this nonsense. The election is around the corner. And Dan and Hazel, I know both of you are going to ask at the first opportunity, explain 1, 2, 3, and 4. He's going to have to sit there and explain. Look, it happens now. And I think the reason why he's not talking to the press is because, look, there's a honeymoon period after an announcement.
Yeah.
You just heard his family announce it for him. So there's a honeymoon period. He wants to take every opportunity to not get it tainted and to make sure his message is crystal
knows
clear
those questions are coming.
as to defending his position.
I mean, he knows those questions are coming. It's not like it's
they're
it's the elephant in
coming,
the
and they're
room.
going to come from all angles. You have a whole bunch of other candidates in the race. My question is, who's going to be the anti-Cuomo going into June? Are you going to see a bunch of them drop off and coalesce? Do they even have an incentive to drop off with matching funds? But if they do organize a campaign against Andrew Cuomo, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Speaker Adams? Is it going to be one of the young senators? Is it going to be the former controller? I mean, there has to be an effort to really take him down, or if not, he's running away with this. But as you know, President Nixon said it clearly, and I'm paraphrasing, whenever anyone organizes a campaign against X, bet on X. So I want to see what's going to happen here in this Democratic primary, just like all you viewers.
Yeah, it'll be certainly interesting to follow. JC Polanco, thank you so much for being with us. Always appreciate having you on.
Thanks so much for having me.